Hey, it's Andrew Clyden. Welcome to the Door County Pulse, your weekly roundup of the good news and views in Door County. This week on the Door County Pulse, it's all about celebrating America's independence. We get the scoop on some of the best places to get outdoors this weekend, and we check in with Door County's first Cicerone to learn about all American beers. All that and more on the Door County Pulse. So I found Miles out in the ridges where he lives now, and I wanted to talk about some of the cool outdoor stuff that you can do this weekend to celebrate America's independence, staying safe, socially distanced, maybe some stuff that you might not know about, some of your different types of things. Miles has a pretty good eye for that kind of stuff, mostly because he's got a really athletic dog that keeps him honest.
That is true.
So Miles, tell me some of the cool stuff that people can do that they might not think about when it comes to getting outside this weekend.
Well, where we're sitting right here is one of the great spots to do it. The Ridges Sanctuary and Boardwalk is awesome for, even if you're not like a hardcore hiker or you don't want to take on like difficult terrain. Like as you see, this boardwalk is just great for people, whether you're someone who has disabilities or is in a wheelchair, or just like to be out in nature. This is a great spot. And for us, we're lucky. It's like 2 steps down from our office.
Right. What about if you want to get out like onto the water? Are there any beaches that you don't think will be as crowded this weekend that you'd recommend?
One thing I like to do is try and get the kayak out as much as I can. I don't do it nearly as much as I would like, but one spot, Garrett Bay Boat Launch, there's not a ton of people up there. It's kind of like a poor man's Cave Point. If you go like paddling around the rocky shore there's some rocky outcroppings and stuff, and you can go up by like Door Bluff Headlands and you see some amazing views. And when you get up there by the northern part of the county, it is just kind of like a little bit more like of what maybe people saw when they first came to Door County before the shoreline was all developed. So it's a great spot up there.
When you're out with your dog, you're usually on your bike. Are there any cool like bike spots that you'd recommend to check out?
The bike is the only place I can keep up with my dog. But you can also take the fat bike or a mountain bike into the state parks. And even though like Peninsula State Park is jam-packed with people, the off-road bike trails are still, you can go out there and be the only one out there in the middle of the summer. So where the Sunset Bike Path is swarming with families and kids, which is great for the path, you can hit those single track trails and see nobody. A couple of good hikes that are not state parks, but Bayshore Blufflands down by Sturgeon Bay is a great hike where it's a land trust property on Bayshore Drive. You hike up and you go through kind of like a meadow with wildflowers, and as you hike up the ridge, you get this awesome view of Green Bay. Right down from my house in Sister Bay, there's Three Springs Preserve that not a lot of people go to, and there's 3 to 4 miles of hiking trails in there, and an awesome little a spring at the end of it, where there used to be the Harold Wilson Nature Preserve, where there was kind of like a poor man's zoo up there. So there's a little history, a lot of great hiking, and it's just a way to get away from everybody.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for chatting with us about some lesser known activities you can get up to this weekend. Thanks a lot, and have a good 4th of July.
You too, Andrew.
Of course, it wouldn't be 4th of July without really good food, so I thought I would give Aaliyah Kidd a call to talk about all of the new food experiences you can have this weekend.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. So I got you on the phone to talk about new food experiences this weekend for 4th of July. What are some of the things that people can look forward to this weekend?
Yeah, so actually there's a few new places, 2 in Sister Bay. So there's the filling station, which is at Husby's, and that is a drinks only small bar place, which has mixed frozen cocktails, which is delicious and perfect for the hot weather. And then over at Goose and Twigs, there's a new pop-up concept called Spritz, which is modeled after an Italian aperitivo, which is basically a happy hour, but it's small bites, cocktails, beer, and wine. And it's great for if you're heading out to dinner and you just want to, stop in for a quick drink and a snack, or as a nightcap.
Right. Anything else new this weekend that folks should know about?
The last thing I have is Kick Ash up in Ellison Bay is celebrating their 1-year anniversary in their new location. So I know they have some specials, and they always have delicious gluten-free baked goods, the artisan granola, and coffee. So that's a good spot to stop into.
Cool. Well, it looks like there's a lot of old favorites and a bunch of new stuff too this weekend. So if you're up in the county, it's a great time to experience new things for the 4th of July. How are you going to spend your weekend, Aaliyah?
Probably outside and probably eating and drinking outside. That's the plan. It looks like pretty nice weather for the whole weekend, so we're lucky.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, Aaliyah, and enjoy your 4th of July weekend.
You as well.
All right.
Bye.
Next, I want to send things over to your friend and mine, Katie Roth, to see what's new in Bailey's Harbor.
The Bailey's Harbor! Weather or not. I call this the foodie frenzy.
Thomas and I
Are about to overwhelm you with the possibilities of what you can eat in Bailey's Harbor. Corner of E&A, we have Stone's Throw. Stone's Throw offers not only their wonderful wine, but they do offer food options. They have Vino Wine Bar, and they have bocce wood fire pizza. You travel just down E, you come to Kangaroo Lake, and you'll find the magical Coyote Roadhouse.
What are you getting today?
Ribs.
Some ribs, right on.
And then we come to Time Cuisine out on Maxwell and Braes Golf Course.
This is where I like to yell for
Coming on into town, you'll see Bailey's 57 gas station.
one of the best views in Bailey's Harbor.
Dun dun dun. We come to Chives food trucks. Chives has a wood fire pizza oven truck, and then they also have a food truck, and they have a walk-up bar on a patio on their deck, and then they also have Chives dining outdoors as well. And then we come to across the street at the Florian Supper Club, but in behind there we got Simply Cuban, and look at them, they opened up just for us. Hello. And the Ox also has
Outdoor seating at the Ox. Goes all the way around back. Isn't that right?
To the bullpen.
Whoop whoop.
And then we come to across the street from that, the old Yum Yum Tree building is Clover and Ash. And here's their indoor space. This is Mackenzie.
She's gonna tell us what options they have.
So we have indoor dining available. We have 2 tables on our front patio. Otherwise, back patio will be open for lakefront seating.
And then we come to the Harbor Frozen Custard. If you haven't been in there, that's our ice cream spot. And then we have the Harbor Fish Market and Grill. They have dining on the water as well.
Then we come to Bearded Heart Coffee. That's where we like to stop and go to our little gravel pods, drink our coffee, and have a nice breakfast.
What's your favorite thing?
I got the avocado toast, and that's always my favorite.
Yeah.
And then we come to Door County Brewing Company and Hacienda Beer Company.
What is your name?
I'm Brent.
Brent and Steve. Yeah. And you guys are waiting for food at Wally's Weenie Wagon. Wally's Weenie Wagon is is right there next to Lakeshore Adventures and the brewery. Then to the Cornerstone Pub has a patio outside across from the marina. And then we come to Heirloom Cafe and Provisions, and they have a wonderful array of breakfast and lunch and grab and goes. They call me Katie Claus.
It works year round. It works Christmas time.
And then Top Deck at Gordon Lodge will be opening, I believe it's June 25th. If you've never been out there, magical little spot. And right now we're at the people watching station at the Choft House and Visitor Center, which will be open after Father's Day with a walk-up window.
Thanks for listening.
I am here with Sophie Nelson. How are you doing, Sophie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So you are Door County's first Cicerone. Tell me a little bit about what that means.
Well, the easiest way to describe it is it's the beer equivalent of a wine sommelier. There are 4 levels, so I'm level 2, which is the certified Cicerone, which is the same for sommelier. So I had to do a lot of studying. I did it all on my own instead of taking classes, and then I had to go down to Chicago and take a 4-hour-long exam.
Nice.
And I passed.
Great. You have been writing a really wonderful column for The Pulse over the last year about beer, but it's a very informative column. You give a lot of different facts. And this week, to celebrate 4th of July, you wrote about all-American beers. Tell me some cool, American beer facts.
Well, how it goes with most American beers is that a lot of them come from their European counterparts, and when they were brought over, they were modified slightly, and sometimes that creates its own style. Usually it's that American styles have more alcohol and more hops, so there'll be higher IBUs, higher bitterness, and more alcohol. So one that I talked about was that I think is an interesting distinction is between American IPAs and English India Pale Ales. And I do use different names in that because the American version of it is so much different than the European that you would call it an IPA. You wouldn't say, oh, an American India Pale Ale, because it is so different and so unique.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, as it's 4th of July this weekend, what are some of your recommendations for, like, trying out American beers?
Well, unfortunately, if you're going to be drinking your beer outside, I would maybe stay away from the hoppier ones, because those are the ones that get light struck. So that's one of the rays in sunlight reacts with hops and creates that kind of skunky taste. So that's anything really hop forward is going to taste like that. So personally, I would go with anything sours. Kettle sours are a really cool American thing right now. You can get some really nice traditional style sours as well, and those won't react so harshly with the sun.
Cool. Sophie, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I look forward to having more cool beer conversations with you. And I'll let you get off to your 4th of July weekend.
All right, thank you.
And that is just some of the cool stuff that Door County has been up to this week. If you've got something that you want to share with us, go ahead and send it over to our Facebook page at Peninsula Pulse. We cannot wait to see what you and your neighbors have been up to. And that's going to do it for this week's Door County Pulse. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. If you're watching over on Facebook, share the video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. I'm Andrew Clyden. Thank you so much for watching, and we can't wait to see you again next week. Thank you for watching the Door County Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you will be notified as soon as there is new Door County content for you. You can check us out online at doorcountypulse.com, where you can see Door County news and the Door County Pulse podcast. Check out another video while you're here, maybe watch a playlist, and we'll see you next time.